Hi, and welcome to the Applied Impact Evaluation EDX course run by the Center for Effective Global Action from the University of California at Berkeley. This module is on difference and difference design, better known as a DID or diff and diff. Just to recap, in the previous modules we've discussed the different components of an RCT or randomized control trial. We've talked about what we do when we don't have a properly randomized study, and this is through exploring quasi-experimental methods such as a regression discontinuity design. Another way to get at a causal estimate when we don't have proper randomization is what we're going to discuss here, which is a difference in difference. First and foremost, one thing we need to run a proper difference in difference, a DID, is the right kind of data. What we want to do is look across time across these treatment and control groups. This means we need 4 data points: baseline information for both the treatment and control group, as well as endline or post-intervention information for the treatment and control group as well. Before we get to the full DID analysis, let's assume that we only have data for the treatment group before and after. If the intervention was done in 2005, let's say we have information in 2004 and 2006, before and after. So this allows us to look at the impact of the program for our treatment area. However, what if the area of interest had a larger than average rainfall, or they had another government project or NGO coming in and helping them? Or maybe they're working in a totally different growth path compared to other areas. This would all lead to a biased estimate, as what we find is larger, or potentially smaller depending on the project, than it should be in reality. This tells us that we need to have a comparable group at baseline to control for any other differences that might be leading to the estimate we find. For example, let's say we have an educational program and we give it to an area and conclude it improved test scores by 10 points. Without a control group, this would be our estimate. But let's say that in another area, similar to the control group at baseline, their test scores increased by 5 points. This means the actual impact of a program should be an increase in 5 and not the 10 we initially found without using a comparison group. So this module goes through some of the math behind the DID by inspecting the 4 main groups that we talked about. But in a nutshell, we are looking at 2 differences. The first difference is between treatment and control groups. The second difference is before and after the intervention. And the main assumption here, when running the difference in difference, is what is known as the parallel trend assumption. And this is saying that in the absence of the treatment, both groups would be growing or trending at the same rate.